FUBOtv. What is going on, guys? Let us know in the comments below. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. What is happening, Alvaro? What can you tell us about this stock? Remember, in the previous video, we talked about some interesting news about the relationship with Disney and all that, but the chart is going to the lower side, at least from what we can see right now. Will this change? Let us know in the comments. And Alvaro, what can you tell us about this past price action?
Okay, so this normally happens after the news. It's like when the news is like pricing in that the upturn is completely nuts. It happened in the past in many other stocks with similar experiences, so to speak. And after that, it tends to go down. Sometimes it even goes down to the previous level. But in this case, it will be like going to $1.48 again. That would be insane, but it could happen. And look at the direction of the price right now.
Yeah, we have to mention that, minus 78% if that scenario finally happens. Since that level of $6.59 more or less, the correction has been more than 45%. So very interesting, this price action. Guys, how do you see this as a correction, a crash, or a different scenario? Let us know in the comments below. Let's go with the forecast section from Wall Street analysts, because we have 4 of them, and it's a very interesting moment. We like to mention this because the current price is very, very close to the average between these 4 analysts.
Yeah, look at that. We have the most optimistic one thinks the stock should go up 80%, and the most pessimistic one minus 43%. $2, which is feasible. I think $1 will be extreme after all that happened, but $2 it could be still feasible. So obviously we have predictions right here by these analysts from Wall Street that anything can happen. Look at the opinions that they have, completely opposite some of them.
Yeah, very interesting. Mixed opinions right there. So if there are mixed opinions, share them below in the comments also of trading. It's the honest traders. And going back to the chart, I think it's very interesting to talk about this past price action, these 2 vertical lines. You can see both breakouts that occurred from this past uptrend. The first one, the first one was right here, and it had kind of double retest, and from there, the second one right here, even more clear, and from there, the price started to drop very fast. It has started to create like another level right here. It got broken out also, and now the price is dropping a little bit more. So the key question is, will this kind of downtrend continue, or will this be like a small correction? Well, a small, more than 40% correction to continue going to higher prices? Because when this type of price action is happening, I think it's very interesting to comment and talk about it. So make sure that you share in the comments below, how do you see the current price action of FUBOtv?
Yeah, there's another problem right now. I'm going to show you guys. It's like the volume profile. If we activate our indicator that shows where the most trading activity had happened, in the past. And you can clearly see right now all the activity trading, is around those levels. The point of control actually is a little bit above the current level. But obviously, we're taking data only from December 26. If we go back, and we select all the data, and that's important to know. And actually, I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. I'm going to pick the data, and I'm going to select it, from November 2023. And you're going to see what happens. The point of control, 1.40. I mean, and we have even more data backwards. So the thing here is like, if we go to the previous most trading activity, the areas with most trading activity.
Volume traded, yeah.
Exactly. We will go back to $1 again, $1.50. And that's a problematic thing, because the reaction of the price right now, there is no resistance. There is no buying pressure at this level because there is no support levels to buy.
It's a very interesting perspective. Of course, you could have a different opinion, so make sure that you share that in the comments below. But as you mentioned, the point of control is that level, taking into account this perspective of the daily time frame and that time frame from the volume profile. And maybe it's due to this huge gap that occurred after those news, because the price almost jumped from $1.40 to more than, it reached in that day more than $5. So completely insane uptrend. But of course, the most volume traded was at the lower levels because there wasn't price action, at least in 2024, only at the start of the year at those levels, between $2 and the area of $4 that were previous resistance levels. And from there, the price completely skyrocketed. So the situation of this chart completely changed in a couple of days, and that's something very interesting to comment and to talk about, because we can learn a lot of things from this chart. And for instance, if we go to the seasonal chart, this that we have right here from 2020, I think it's very interesting, the data since 2020 till 2025. What can we see right there, Alvaro? You can turn off our camera so they can see the start.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna do it actually. And yeah, the start of the year in 2025 completely insane. As you can see, like the best start in the last 5 years, probably the whole decade of this stock FUBO TV. The thing here is like, you know, it's correcting fast. It can continue to go that. It can continue to do that. And then we have the end of the previous years. 2020 it was the best one. But look at what happened. You know, it's like after a huge spike in the price, the correction is also hard. You know, and that's what happened at that time. The other years they were kind of, you know, net neutral, I would say. We're talking about like in 2023 more than 89%, which is not bad.
Well,
But the other
yeah, not
years,
neutral.
yeah, exactly. Well, obviously you compare the data. I'm talking about
Yeah.
comparing the data between 2025, 2020. We have several
Yeah,
years
I
completely
understood
insane.
you. Yeah, just in case, you know, it's like it depends on your trading style and the percentages that you see, because some penny stocks, of course, have percentages of that in a few days. But for this type of stocks with bigger market caps, yeah, in a year, 89% is not a bad percentage, of course.
Yeah, and actually, the stock only has a market cap of 1 billion, which is it could be considered a small cap. And that's the thing, you know, it tends to be more volatile, and as you can see, you know, the percentages in the after the year
Yeah.
closes are completely insane. But the thing here is like we have several negative years, and when you see a stock like this. And you compare it with other stocks such as Apple, Nvidia, you know, those that are incredible had an incredible growth, and you can clearly see this is not the case. Here we have very bad years. We are not talking about a crisis, because in 2008, okay, anything can happen in 2008. In 2000, those were like really bad years for the, you know, for the stock market. But in this case, we don't have that. Maybe 2020, and 2020 was the best year actually.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, to have both sides. We have 3 years in the positive side. More or less, the average could be 100 something percent. And then in the negative side, we have also those 3 years with an average of more or less minus 60%. So you have both sides of the coin right there in this beautiful seasonal chart. And let's go with the seasonal chart also from 2015, because you mentioned this could be like 2025, the best year of the decade in terms of years to day perspective. But it wasn't. It's very interesting, you know, this stock. In
Wow.
2016, it even started with a higher percent, you know, 567%, that got completely corrected to the lower side because the year ended in a minus 69%. And then we also have in red 2024, I think,
No,
no, 2018,
exactly. Wow.
534%, and the year ended in minus 35%. Wow,
We have to go
crazy
back.
numbers.
Let's go to the weekly chart, exactly
Yeah,
understand
let's
what
go with that.
happened back then. And obviously we don't have more data. Yeah, we have data from 2015, and yeah, look at the
All
spikes
right,
right
so
there.
that could be in another video. If you share in the comments below that you enjoyed this stock and you hit the like button, we can make another video with more data from FUBOtv and talk about that incredible past price action from that year's to date perspective that started completely in green but ended up completely in red. So would this year be the same? Would this time be different? What is your opinion on FUBOtv? Let us know in the comments below. Welcome to Trading HD. So